which we set to outline in this press conference for the good people of Ghana to better appreciate its unacceptable repercussions on the country. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, to better understand the case under reference, permit the minority to make reference to the press release dated 22nd of July 2025 that has emanated from the Attorney General as reproduced here below. I'm sure most of you had read it, but it started by saying that the Attorney General has on that day, which was 22nd, entered a nolle prosequi in the case of the Republic versus Kwabena Duffuor and 7 others. While the exercise of this prosecution, blah, 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 because you have it, ladies and gentlemen, I will not bore you. So when you are done and people don't have it, I can easily give you a copy. The press release arose against the following background. Unibank was one of the financial institutions that was affected by the financial sector cleanup by the Bank of Ghana. Thus, following the banking cleanup exercise, the Bank of Ghana detected that a whooping amount of depositors' funds totaling 5.7 billion had become due, but the said amount was not available at all material times for payment accordingly. Subsequently, investigations revealed that Dr. Duffuor and co. transferred the said funds to some related and connected businesses, and that in the end, Unibank was rendered insolvent. It is instructive to note that these criminal activities were uncovered after the revocation of license of Unibank and the subsequent appointment of a receiver by the Bank of Ghana. Consequently, the charges of fraudulent breach of trust, money laundering, among others, were brought against Dr. Kwabena Duffuor and some 7 others. I'll say 7 now because you know what happened. There were 8 others. There were 9 accused persons. But when this Attorney General assumed office, he freed 1 Dr. Esiama, and that is why they have it as 7 others. So I'll keep it as Dr. Duffuor and 7 others. Ladies and gentlemen, in view of the above, Ghanaians, including us, the minority in Parliament, have since been wondering the legal basis for the entry of a nolle prosequi in the suit under reference by the learned Attorney General, and therefore we deem it appropriate to raise questions produced below for the Attorney General to answer for the benefit of the good people of Ghana. Number 1, has Dr. Dominic Akuritenga Aine in the past acted for Dr. Kwabena Duffuor and Unibank? In the case of the Republic versus Kwabena Duffuor and 7 others, is Dr. Aine now the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana? The deputy referred to him as the Attorney General, and today he has granted a press conference acknowledging that he gave out the press release and he tries to justify why he entered the nolle prosequi. Ghanaians would want the Attorney General to explain to us in full the extent of conflict of interest using Dominic Aine as defense counsel and Dominic Aine as the Attorney General. This he failed in the press conference to tell Ghanaians that he had acted for Unibank and that he had acted for Dr. Kwabena Duffuor. So I think he owes us, as a country, a duty to explain to us why and the extent of this conflict of interest. The next question, does the Attorney General have the right, in law they say so motu, to free offenders at his own discretion, or is he obliged by law to prosecute and punish offenders in?
QuickBooks gives me the superpower to automate my invoices, track expenses, and get
against the state. Is he not legally and constitutionally obliged to ensure prosecution and punishment of those who commit economic crimes? What happened? What prevented the Attorney General from continuing with the prosecution of the Republic versus Kwabena Duffuor and 7 others, especially when the prosecution had far advanced its case before the court? I am told that they had called even the second prosecution witness. But today, the learned Attorney General tells us that on his own, he comes out and says that he negotiated with the parties without any court's involvement, and he intends to free. He has already entered a null prosecutor, so he had freed them. The next question, or question 3, that I may want to ask. Transparency, as indicated in the press release, demands the learned Attorney General to explain to Ghanaians the principle of 60-40. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, once a null prosecutor is entered by the Attorney General or the prosecution, we need not find out, and we don't need to find out questions. But he chooses to, if you read the press release, he chooses to justify why he had done that in the name of transparency. And that's why I say that transparency, as he had indicated in the press release, demands that he, the learned Attorney General, would explain to Ghanaians the principle of 60-40. If you're talking about 5.7 billion cedis and you tell us that you have retrieved 800,000 cedis, how can you say that that represents 60,000? And at any rate, is it a new policy directive, or when did this come into Ghana? When was this introduced into our criminal jurisprudence? What happens to the remaining 40%? To him, the Attorney General, today we heard him say that the 60-40, we can forget about the 40%, because he uses the proverbial theft of six goals, that if 2 or 4 are recovered, then he can allow the 2 to go off, meaning that the 40%, what the Attorney General in his jurisprudence is telling Ghanaians, that he would let go the 40%. That means the 40% should go with. The press release makes reference to 60% recovery threshold as a benchmark for reconsidering prosecutions. When was this policy introduced, and under what legal authority? Was this benchmark made public or debated in Parliament? Was it quietly introduced post-2024 to lower the standards of accountability? For a case involving 5.7 billion, can the Attorney General confirm that 1 billion has indeed been recovered and provide documented proof of the recovery? It is strange that the Attorney General is insisting that the amount of 800 million cedis recovered from Dr. Duffuor constitute 60%. How did the Attorney General review the amount from the 5.7 billion to 1.2 billion by a mere administrative fiat? The best we heard from him today is to make arrangements for the amount to be paid into public fund. One would have thought that he would wait until the amount, the recovery that he's talking about, would have been paid into the coffers of the state before thinking of nolle prosequi. Did the Attorney General consider Section 35 of the Courts Act, Act 459, in coming out with the 60-40 threshold? For the avoidance of doubt, Section 35 of Act 459 states, and for the lack of time, let me paraphrase, that if you want to make any restitution in such cases, you consider Section 35, which says that a person may plead to a lesser amount, and then you can then enter a nolle prosequi or file anything for the courts to consider. And if the person fails to do that, then the person could be punished. When I finish, I can give you a copy of what I'm holding, and then you can have the full text of Section 35 of the Courts Act. Why did the Attorney General turn a blind eye on the above institutional provision? Why would the Attorney General also look at the principle of the plea bargaining agreement? Under our section, that is the Criminal Procedure Act, Act 30, as amended by Act 1079, and I have a copy of the Plea Bargaining Act as amended. The Attorney General is telling us today that he did not even look at the Plea Bargaining Act. He didn't look at the Courts Act. He didn't look at the Plea Bargaining Act. The process was not supervised by any court. And what he is telling us is that he himself, on his own, so motu, got the parties and negotiated with them. Where did he get the figures from? When the prosecution had already started this prosecution, and I have the facts as presented by the prosecution, and those who are interested, I can give you copies, you make copies of that. And when we had done this, why did the Attorney General ignore this, and why didn't he tell us anything from this? Why was the accused person not convicted, even when he agreed to pay 60% in line with plea bargain agreement under Section 35, or under the plea bargaining agreement, or under Section 35 of the Courts Act? For plea bargain to be accepted by the court, there are a lot of options opened to the parties, including conviction. However, any such process must be supervised by the court. In the learned Attorney General's nolle prosequi, he just enters. Nobody would have thought that we would ask him questions. But because he chooses to say that he wants to be transparent, we want him to be more transparent and answer the questions that we are asking him. So how the Attorney General allowed the accused person to walk free without a conviction and without supervision of the process by the court, that definitely cannot be under a plea bargain agreement, as he had himself said. And if it is not a plea bargain agreement, and it also doesn't come under Section 35 of the Courts Act, where did he get the 60%, and how much has he collected? Today he tells us that he's going to make arrangements for the monies that have been collected, about 800,000, to be paid into government coffers. The learned Attorney General has obviously forgotten the theories of prosecution and punishment. In fact, if he had thought of it, he would have appreciated that deterrence is one of the theories that we take into consideration in punishing people. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude, we would like to take this opportunity to call on all voices of conscience in our society, especially lawyers, judges, civil society, clergy, traditional leaders, and you, the press, to sit down and watch, and not to sit down and watch on unconcerned, whilst the Attorney General, trusted with the office responsible to uphold the rule of law, on the contrary, pursue rather a destructive agenda to the detriment of the good people of Ghana. We therefore call upon any interested party, the Parliament of Ghana, particularly its Select Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs, to summon the Attorney General to answer these questions publicly. The Legal Counsel and Bar Association to investigate potential breaches of legal ethics and professional conduct. All patriotic Ghanaians to stand up against what appears to be the erosion of justice and the dangerous politicization of the prosecutorial process. Finally, may this press conference also serve as a formal notice to the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, that if his decision is not reversed within a reasonable time, the minority will consider its options of proceeding to court to challenge its decision in its entirety. Let it be known that justice must not only be done, but it must be manifestly seen to be done. Thank you. If there are some questions, I will take it. One of the actions that we heard him this morning speak to the press, and we said twice to answer what he's doing, and we think that he's not doing the right. So once we've come out of this press conference, we have to hold him accountable. You see, he gives an impression that the system that he met is not helping to retrieve monies, and that monies are going to waste. But I will get in this.
Kudos. Remember what I told you. Whenever you face a challenge, never chicken pout.
Just eat the chicken.
Crowler and Associate in Unibank. When the court supervised, the court said that they should pay 1/3, and they paid 90 million cedis upfront before. And when he was not able to pay the rest, the person is convicted and is in jail now. So it's not a matter of saying that I won't put people before jail. There are laws in this country, and deterrence is also right, so that if somebody does the wrong thing, you punish him. We hear the Attorney General also citing the Ghpage capital issue now as an example, which is a clear indication that he doesn't even plan to take the case further, probably appeal against the decision of the court. It means that he is satisfied. And he also gives an impression that he's not perturbed about financial crimes. And he equates civil actions or civil threshold to criminal threshold. And I think he's wrong.
And so that's Kwame Anyimadu. He is the ranking on the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee of Parliament, addressing the press a lot earlier. Still, that raging debate over the Attorney General's decision to file a nolle prosequi in the case involving the state and the former founder of Unibank, and now a defunct bank, and some 7 others. The Attorney General earlier today sought to provide reasons as to why he decided to discontinue the case. Well, they say that if he wants to be transparent, he should do that fully, and that a failure of him to reverse his decision to file a nolle prosequi will see them go to court, and they are also pushing that the committee will drag the Attorney General before Parliament or before the committee and the House to answer questions where they can ask a bit more of him in these explanations. That's the latest that's been coming through from the quarters of Parliament. We'll continue to monitor this and bring you details and reactions a lot later on News 360. Stay with us. This is TV3.
Bad guy.
Are the ones that are infectious. They lead to liver diseases such as liver cirrhosis, where the liver is filled with fat and the liver is not functioning, and eventually to liver cancer. And it is the #1 cause of liver cancer in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, hepatitis B is a sexually transmitted disease. Hepatitis B is spread by blood and bodily fluids. The solution to solving the hepatitis B problem is a public health education. The people who are promiscuous need to be educated. Most people who have hepatitis, especially the chronic type, they don't even know they have it. And a lot of people, the prevalence and the incidence in Ghana is very high. But luckily, Mr. Speaker, it was one of the problems that we had discussed in the NDC manifesto. And the solution to solving the hepatitis B problem would be the free primary health care. Currently, children are getting the hepatitis B vaccine in the pentavalent vaccines. So they get it at 6 months, 10 months, and 6 weeks, 14 weeks, 10 weeks, and 14 weeks. Currently, once the free primary health care program is rolled out, we will be given the birth dose in the beginning of 2026. So the NDC government, under the visionary leader of John Dramani Mahama, is working on the problem. The problem has been identified. He's working on the problem.
Honourable members, let's have some order.
The problem has been identified. We are on course. We are working on bringing the birth dose vaccine, which is for the children that are immediately born. The infants, the newborns, will be receiving a dose in the beginning of 2026. Once the free primary health care program kicks in, we will do national surveillance. We will add the hepatitis B vaccine for adults. We will continue public education, and those who are found to have hepatitis B will be included in the free primary health care package. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much. Honorable leaders, honorable members, based on very well, Sir Honorable Jerry Shai.
Speaker, I thank you very much for this opportunity. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to also thank the maker of this statement, Osahin, Alexander Afenyo Kwame Namakin. Speaker, this statement comes at the right time. And for me, we need to consider what is more important at this stage, which is the preventive care. Growing up, I've always heard people say that prevention is always better than cure. And that is why, for me, this statement is profound. And Speaker, I would just make reference to the Efutu experience, where the maker of this statement personally had to support the initiative with an initial amount of 1 million cedis. Speaker, obviously, most of us here may not have the resources to do that, but we should also be encouraged that to which we can pay little by little and get to that level. Speaker, over 20,000 individuals have benefited from this screening through vaccination, especially in the Efutu constituency. Speaker, then where you have the maker of this statement, who has also conceded to consolidate these efforts by constructing a hepatitis and liver care center in Efutu. Speaker, for me, I think that this is worth commending. I am looking at the preventive side, which is, for me, I've abbreviated into SICA. That is the stigma. That is the inaccessibility. That is the cost. And that is the ignorance. Speaker, if we are looking at the stigma, what we need to do is to consider a more comprehensive education on hepatitis. And I don't think that is just a matter of promiscuity. It also boils down to knowing what you are to do and what you are not to do, including vaccination. And Speaker, if we are able to take this up and let people understand that the fact that you have hepatitis should not be a reason for you to seek proper cure and care, then we are moving somewhere. Speaker, the issue of inaccessibility. There are a lot of people out there, they may never have heard of hepatitis. They do not know how to even reach out and how to get the necessary cure and vaccination. Speaker, if we are able to take this up, I am sure we can get somewhere. Speaker, then the issue of cost. What are we doing with the cost, the expenses involved? Are we in a position to get the submission made by the maker of this statement that government through the National Health Insurance should now respectfully consider taking the cost, bearing the cost for people who are unable to take care of this? Speaker, if we are able to do so, a lot of Ghanaian lives, especially the young with the babies, will be saved. Speaker, I think that there is the need for us to focus on what the current situation is. My colleague just said you have about 4.6 million people who are suffering from hepatitis. How can we stop hepatitis? How can we break it down? Let us all come together, irrespective of where we stand or we sit, whichever party color we follow. Let us appreciate that hepatitis should be the thing of the past. Let us help in preventing hepatitis. Let's start now. Start from your homes. Start from educating your children. Start with educating your children. Start with educating people who are nearer to you. Let them understand that hepatitis can also kill. It can affect your liver. It can take lives as much as possible. Speaker, with that, I am sure we can move forward as a nation and have a lesser number of people suffering from hepatitis. And at most, have it removed from this society called Ghana. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, honorable members. The statement made by the minority leader is a very important one. I would therefore direct that the statement be transmitted to the minister responsible for health. But at conclave, we agree it's going to be 3-3. Is that not what we agreed upon?
Plus leadership 1-1.
Including the leadership here is 3.
We have the last slot.
I'm saying that including the leadership here is 3, but I have taken 3 here. Honourable members, the statement by the minority leader is a very important one. I would therefore direct that the statement be transmitted to the minister responsible for health for very urgent actions. In fact, the numbers are very scary. I also urge every Ghanaian to adopt a very good health practices so that we can avoid the complication from some of these diseases. So, clerk at table accordingly direct you to transmit the statement to the minister responsible for health. His intervention is very important in this regard. Honourable members, we also have two statements. One standing in the name of Honourable Akwesi Konedu, MP for Menchia North, on to eulogize the legendary departed Ghanaian musician Charles Kojo Fosu, popularly known as Daddy Lumba. Same statement is coming from Honorable Adelaide Ntim, MP for Nsuta Kwamai Biposu, on the passing of the legendary musician Charles Kojo Fosu. I urge the House to bear with me so that we can take the statement jointly. So I will first give the floor to Honorable Akwesi Konedu.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise today with a heavy heart, yet a deep sense of reverence and pride, to pay tribute to one of Ghana's greatest musical legends, Charles Kojo Fosu, widely known as Daddy Lumba. His passing on the 26th of July 2025 at the Bank Hospital in Accra, after a short illness, marks the end of an era in Ghana's rich musical history. He was 60 years old, hailed from Ekwo in Suta in the Ashanti region. Nonetheless, it is believed that he had lineage and could be traced to Pakoso, a town I come from. Interestingly, Mr. Speaker, unbeknownst to many, he was once rumored to have aspirations to become the chief of Pakoso, highlighting his roots and potential influence in the community. Mr. Speaker, Daddy Lumba was not just a musician, he was a maestro, an icon whose influence transcended generations and borders. Widely regarded as the greatest musician of all times, his contribution to high life music is unparalleled. Through a remarkable career spanning over 4 decades, he produced 30 albums and composed more than 200 songs, many of which continue to enjoy airplay today. His ability to touch on a wide array of themes, including love, heartbreak, forgiveness, wealth, death, betrayal, beauty, resilience, demonstrate the depth and breadth of his artistry. What made Daddy Lumba truly extraordinary, Mr. Speaker, was his linguistic dexterity and poetic use of the Akan language, particularly Asante Twi. His lyrics were not only melodious and catchy, but often liaised with proverbial wisdom, layered meanings, and cultural idioms that require deep thought to unpack. For many of us, his music was more than entertainment. It was an education in values, life, and our Ghanaian identity. In an age where the vibrant tradition of high life music had been gradually overshadowed by other genres, Daddy Lumba took toll as proud custodian of Ghana's musical heritage. He was a torchbearer and a trailblazer who constantly delivered timeless music filled with thoughtful messages and profound advice. Mr. Speaker, his works were not just songs. They were experiences, carefully crafted pieces that touched hearts and stirred conscience. Take, for instance, Mr. Speaker, the song Teresa, for which part of it he says, "Se menyuaya, iniena miniayo, se mamodia." Mr. Speaker, this song emphasized the beauty and importance of gratitude, reminding us all to appreciate those who stand by us in difficult times. Mr. Speaker, in Sika he says, Sika eneye adie nyina. He addresses the harsh reality of poverty and the need for us to eschew dishonest labor in favor of integrity and hard work. He made a clear distinction between wealth acquired through genuine means and that earned through deceit. And Mr. Speaker, in Adakatia, he says, Obiang kwejina Adakatia. To it, everybody.
Honorable Akwesi Akwanedu, you should have done us a favor of translating whatever you are saying in Twi into English language for the Hansard.
Mr. Speaker, I will. And I'll make that available to the Hansard department. Mr. Speaker, Adakatia is a poignant reminder that of life's impermanence. He urged listeners to reject pride, selfishness, in favor of love and humility, as death comes for all of us, regardless of our status. Mr. Speaker, it is not surprising that in the year 2024, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo recognized Daddy Lumba with a prestigious national honors at the Accra International Conference Center. In his heartfelt tribute, the former president aptly described him as a pantheon among musical greats of all times. Indeed, Daddy Lumba's influence extended beyond the boundaries of music. He was a cultural ambassador, a unifier, and a beacon of creativity and wisdom. Mr. Speaker, the loss of Daddy Lumba is not just a blow to the music industry. It is a profound loss to Ghana's cultural heritage and identity. His music brought people together across age groups, political divide, and ethnic lines. Whether at family gatherings, weddings, political events, national celebrations, his music played in the background, evoking nostalgic, joy, reflection, and a deep sense of emotions. Through his art, he managed to build bridges and foster the sense of national pride. Many young musicians today cite Daddy Lumba as their greatest influence and inspirations. He opened doors for future generations of high-life artists, mentoring some directly and indirectly, and shaping the industry through the standards that he set. His ability to reinvent himself whilst remaining true to his roots kept him relevant and beloved by the old and young fans. Mr. Speaker, the void left by Daddy Lumba's departure is vast and irreplaceable, yet his legacy endures, not just in the melodies we will continue to sing, but in the life lessons that so powerfully shared through his music. He entertained, he educated, he inspired, and he united us. That, Mr. Speaker, is the mark of a true legend. In this moment of mourning, I extend my condolence to his family, friends, the countless fans both in Ghana and across the globe. We mourn with him, but we also celebrate a life well lived, a life that brought joy, comfort, inspiration to many, many Ghanaians and citizens. May the soul of Charles Kwadwo Fosu, Daddy Lumba, rest in perfect peace, and the many songs continue to echo in our hearts, reminding us of who we are, where we come from, and what truly matters in life. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We then give the floor to Honorable Adelaide and team. You have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to speak on a matter of deep national grief. The passing of one Ghanaian most iconic and influential musician, Charles Kwadwo Fosu, widely known as Daddy Lumba. Mr. Speaker, Daddy Lumba was born from Insuta, Ekuo, in the Central District, representing the Insuta Kwamai Biposo constituency of the Ashanti region. His musical journey began modestly, starting with the participation in school and church choirs. It later took him to Germany, where he teamed up with Nana Echampong to release the groundbreaking track Yayaka Aquentium, a song that launched a career lasting over 3 decades. Mr. Speaker, Daddy Lumba was more than a singer. He was a cultural icon. His music spanned generations, touching on themes of love, life, hardship, and celebration. He voiced the everyday experiences of Ghanaians, becoming a household name across the country and beyond. Mr. Speaker, his contributions to Ghanaian music industry are invaluable. He was a pioneer of high life and hip life genres, mentoring many prominent artists. His sound evolved, yet his authenticity always remained intact. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the grief and people of Insuta Kwamine, Biposu constituency, the entire Central District, and especially the paramount chief of the Insuta traditional area, Nana Asamoah Gyamfi Setre II, I call upon this House and the nation to mourn with us. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has lost a legend, but his legacy endures. I humbly appeal to the Honorable House and the government to consider awarding national honors, including a state-assisted funeral, and establishing initiatives to preserve and promote his musical legacy. Mr. Speaker, as we mourn, we also celebrate a life that touched millions. Let us remember Charles Kojo Fosu, not just with tears, but with pride for the gift he was to our nation. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Jemi Fedrie Kojo. I am grateful, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will then open the floor to take comment on the statement ably made. Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement ably made by my two colleagues, eulogizing Ghana's most influential musical legend in recent history, Charles Kojo Fosu, popularly known as Daddy Lumba. Mr. Speaker, the news of the sudden demise of Daddy Lumba came to many as a surprise, taking into consideration the fact that most recently he celebrated his 60th birthday, and very little would one have considered that he would pass on to the next world. Mr. Speaker, as had been indicated by the makers of the statement, the musical contribution of Daddy Lumba spanned about 4 decades, which means that Daddy Lumba launched himself into Ghana's musical space at a very early age of about 20 years thereabout. The music that Daddy Lumba produced or sang across these years portrayed him as one with a lot of depth in terms of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in promoting Ghana's rich cultural history. When we heard of the first song, Yayaka Aquentium, with Nana Echampong, those of us who were then in our primary school to secondary school days realized that this was a song that we could really relate to. But, Mr. Speaker, one song that I'm fondly remember Daddy Lumba of, and this house have to take particular notice, is a song, Yano Sekwa. Mr. Speaker, I don't know if you've heard it before. Yano Sekwa, Yano Sekwa, Susuman Paso Nada, Yano Sekwa. Mr. Speaker, to it. The majority is always laughing with the minority. But we are unable to appreciate the love and the bond that we have to stay in this house together. So, with the device of Daddy Lumba, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge this house to remember Daddy Lumba with this song that we have to unite as a house and as a country. That when we deal, we should deal with ourselves in honesty and not in betrayal. Mr. Speaker, with that said, I want to pay glowing tribute to Charles Kojo Fosu for his contribution to music in this country. And as has been proposed, I believe that the state ought to give him the needed honors and then give him a befitting funeral so that subsequent generations and the musical talents that are unfolding would also learn from the lessons that Daddy Lumba has given us. Mr. Speaker, with this, I want to thank the makers of the statement for what they've done in remembering Charles Kojo Fosu, our darling Daddy Lumba. Thank you for the opportunity, Speaker.
So, any further contribution? Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to commend the makers of the statement in commemoration with the demise of a legend, Daddy Lumba. His music is not only played at parties, weddings, but it's a message to the entire nation. It's a message of hope, message of unity. One of his popular songs that is always played in my constituency, Teresa. Wherever Mr. Speaker, his demise is a big blow in my constituency, and I join the people of Okankwe North to mourn with the family.
Sing Teresa for us.
Semanyiwaya, Onyana minyayo, Sema modia, miyabonia yefo, to wait.
Go on.
Mr. Speaker, I join the people of Okankwe North and Ghana at large to mourn the demise of a legend. When you attend any occasion in Okankwe North, provided I'm present there, they welcome with the song Teresa. Whether it is of a funeral, it's Teresa. Whether it's adoring, it's Teresa. And this music has brought a lot of hope to so many Ghanaians. I am praying, like my honorable member said, let's not just smile towards each other. Let's mean words. Let's show each other love. When this side bring business of the house, genuinely join us to do it. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Matthew Nyundam.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Today it's a very sad day that a man I so love and cherished is no more. Mr. Speaker, I extend my condolences to the family and to the nation and to the music industry. Mr. Speaker, Dada Lumba never dies. Because if you take the music industry, the music of Dada Lumba will stay forever and ever. Mr. Speaker, I am very sure, and I will not be afraid. I will say, for that, if you take the country as a whole, everyone at least will like one or two of Dada Lumba's music. And I can see it from the faces of my colleagues. If you are sad, Mr. Speaker, just play Dada Lumba's music and you'll be fine. If you are quarreling with your wife, just play Dada Lumba's music and you'll be fine. Mr. Speaker, even if you want to go and do galamsey, play Dada Lumba's music and you'll be encouraged. Mr. Speaker, the man is a legend. If you want to know, with your wife, you have a problem, just play Odo me pewa sempa o na abwan here. Pepem pem 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 pepem pepem pem 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 pem. Odo me pewa sempa o na abwan here na mpira di pantia. Me pewa sempa o ohia na wan chira di pantia. Daddy me pewa semu bebre. Your wife is good to go. Mr. Speaker, Munke Babia de Pakoshe Akoshe to Krum. Mr. Speaker, this is for the Galamsey people. Munke Babia at the Pakoshe Akoshe to Krum. So you know that you know where to go and harvest. Mr. Speaker, so for Dada Lumba, if you are a young man, Mr. Speaker, if you are a young man and you want to make life, listen to that Lumba's music. I'm telling you, if you play that Lumba's music, Mr. Speaker, you'll be good to go. Let's all use this opportunity. Although he's no more, let's learn, let's play his music. Let's try as much as possible to pick the West. Just like others have said, we are in this house together. We are in this house together. When we are laughing, let's express genuine laugh. Let's do it together. We should not pretend. We should not pretend. Because you don't know when. It could be tomorrow, it could be tomorrow next. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you, and I want to encourage you. I know you are a Lumba fan, because looking at your face, I can see one or two music in your face. When you get home, try and pick one or two, and I'm sure that you will be okay. Because sometimes, when you sit there, you can be, Mr. Speaker, you understand what I mean. So on that note, I want to thank you for the opportunity. And once again, I want to express my condolences to the family. And like one of the statements said, we should treat him as a legend, as a nation. Let's see how we can give him a befitting barrier. It's so important because people like Dada Lumba, you cannot get them much. Let's see how, as a state, as a nation, we can eulogize our heroes. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honourable member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to stand on Order 63 clause 1 of our standing order and speak the Ghanaian language, Asante Twi. Mr. Speaker, and da Ghana for nyina any ewiase amansan nyina esu onyumtini kese a ne din ede Charles Kojo Fosu a dodo na frɛ no Daddy Lumba. Now yɛhwɛ enema papa a Daddy Lumba aye ede ama Ghana.
Honorable member, please, let's go by the rules.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I will be happy to translate after I've concluded with the tree into the English language. If you can indulge me, please.
Very well.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, Daddy Lumba abwa magana din apeja bebree. Yehwe ne nnwom to enkabomu a ode aba ye fiefiem. Se yawo onipa foforo a.
Please limit it there and do the translation.
Very well, Mr. Speaker. Very well, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to wait. Daddy Lumba is a great musician. He has sold Ghana across the borders of the world. Now, as a musician from Ghana, I believe and I know that Daddy Lumba has actually made Ghana a, I would say, a hub, a musical hub, where a lot of Ghanaians do connect. Mr. Speaker, I'll summarize it up and say that Daddy Lumba is a great musician. He has connected Ghana to the world, and so I pray that the government of today helps the family to have a befitting barrier for him, and then help musicians in Ghana to protect their intellectual, what is it called? Can you help me, please? It's their intellectual property when it comes to music. And so, Mr. Speaker, I'll end it here. Conclude. And then I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Honourable members, because we don't have the facility, everything that has been said in Twi but not translated into English is ordered to be expunged from the record. Yes, Honourable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would want to join the Member of Parliament from Lumba's home constituency, Honourable Adelaide, and the Member of Parliament for Menchia North for the statements they've made today on the floor. The Speaker, it is with great heart and deep sorrow I want to join the teeming Ghanaians who are today mourning the passage of the legend, the icon, the Speaker, the star of Ghana, Charles Kojo Fosu, a.k.a. Daddy Lumba. The Speaker, in fact, I am one of the members of the fan club of Daddy Lumba. And my favorite song of all time, the Speaker, if you would permit me, I would want to take a few lines. Semenya obone, now you yem se o time ya. the uchrimia, and Yaubu, the uchrimia, Utamia, the uchrimia, and Udiaubu. The speaker,
To it.
to it out there, to it. The speaker, to it, if I've not done any wrong to you, I've not offended you in any way, I've not wronged you, the speaker, and you hate me, then you are lying. The speaker, the track goes on to even say how he is fortified in the word of God. The speaker, this is the man we are celebrating today. As a young party boy, MPP young man, very fan of the party, the speaker, one of his major campaign songs, Na 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 oye we now, na na dear, he's born to succeed. Na na kufuado ye we now. The speaker, where you will even enjoy that one most is where you go, hey no sunoi, kukurudu. The speaker, this is a man Ghana is mourning today. It's very sad. But we have a number of stars that are no longer with us today. Quite recently, KKD also passed. The speaker, I think that the families of that Lumba should allow the state give him a befitting state burial. That Akedi, yes. That Akedi, sorry. The speaker, I said KKD, forgive me. It's that Akedi. The speaker, I think the families of that Lumba should allow the state give him a befitting burial. Because now he has outlived the confines of his family. He is now a national asset. The speaker, I will beg, I will crave, if they are listening to us, they should allow the state give him a befitting burial. Because he has sold, he has marketed, he has projected Ghana through his music to the international world. Mr. Speaker, I think that finally I would want to beg that the nation should have a high life museum where we have all our high life musicians, art and their works being displayed there. Because Ghana, one of our major journals, music journals, is high life. Speaker, we do not even have anything in this country that depicts the fact that that is our music journal. The speaker, we should use the passage of Lumba to make sure that we set up a music journal, high life studios or high life museum, so that Ghana and everybody who comes to Ghana can have a share of that. The speaker, to conclude, I want to take the lines again. Now you
member, no singing. Conclude. Please conclude.
I'm concluding. So time here.
Honourable member, conclude. Can you resume your seat? Yes, leadership.
Mr. Speaker, I will yield to Honourable.
Very well. Yes. Honourable Nitiwood.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you very much. So when news broke out that we had indeed lost Daddy Lumba, I am almost certain that there are many people in this chamber who shed a tear, including myself. Even those who did not speak impeccable Twi, or didn't even speak the Twi language. Whenever they played Daddy Lumba's song, they enjoyed it. Mr. Speaker, even those whose mother tongue was not the Twi language, anytime Daddy Lumba's song was played, people enjoyed it. Mr. Speaker, Daddy Lumba is, in quotes, our Michael Jackson. This is a man whose music cut across all ages, from the young to the middle age, to the old. And how he did it is still a marvel to some of us, that every year since 1992, or let's say 89, when he started with Nana Champon, he always came with a hit. There is no year that people were not waiting for Daddy Lumba to bring a song in December. Every year, Daddy Lumba always brought a hit song or a couple of hit songs in December. He entertained Ghanaians for more than 30, 40 years. We should celebrate him. The nation owes it a duty to celebrate Daddy Lumba. Lumba, Mr. Speaker, has left a mark, and I believe for many, many, many years to come, he may end up like Bob Marley, where even when he's not there, Ghanaians will still be playing his music. He was one of the few who held the high life music through the skies. Ghanaians were known for what we call high life music. Today, it's changing. It was high life music that Ghanaians were known for. Many people, many countries copied high life music. And Daddy Lumba represented the best of high life music. Mr. Speaker, if you ask those who speak and understand the local Twi language well, they'll tell you how he composes his music, the lyrics, and the thought behind. It marvels everybody. I remember somebody asked him a question. What is the meaning of Abin Waha? What is it that we, well, of all the songs? They asked him, what is that? What were you talking about? But Mr. Speaker, what the average Ghanaian thought he was going to say, he never said that. That is the type of person we are mourning today. It's unfortunate we have lost him at a very young age. And I heard him say that to be able to reach 60 years, he too has reached that 60 years. I heard him say that when he celebrated his 60th birthday, he said, me too have reached that 60 years. And that he has never celebrated his birthday before until he was 60 years. As if he was prophetic. Only for us this week to wake up and be told that the man is no more. Mr. Speaker, Ghana should give him a befitting burial. The campaign song that my friend sang, that was a campaign song of the MPP in 2008. I remember that after the NDC won the elections, every party that the NDC had, that was the song they were singing. Not the The song Nana Ye Winner. It was so popular across political parties that you didn't know whether it was an MPP song or an NDC song. It was a national anthem of give him a befitting burial, give him a befitting burial, a good sign of, and pray that the Almighty Lord will forgive him all his sins and put him at his right side. If you listen to his interviews over the last 10 years, when he did the surgery and was having difficulties, always he uses God first before any other thing. Maybe the ancestors of Ghana, maybe the spirit of the country called Ghana, maybe the ancestors of the Sacred land, Ashanti land, were telling him that your time is up. But whatever it is, wherever he is today, he should know that the people of Ghana love him. I have a friend who says that we should sing, is it Ankwanuma? Ankwanuma, nume, nume, Ankwanume.
Honourable members, what is this?
Mr. Speaker, we are doing things out of the ordinary for an extraordinary human being. Mr. Speaker, forgive us, but we are mourning the best of the best. Forgive us, for we shall never forget the name Charles Kojo Fosu, a.k.a. Daddy Lumba, a.k.a. DL. On that day, let all of us be present to mourn him, wherever the funeral will be held, whether in Suta, whether in Kumasi, or whether in Accra. But I wish the state will give him a state barrier here at the forecourt of Parliament for the people of Ghana to come and mourn him. And I bet you the streets of Accra will be full. I went to the gym today and everybody was playing Daddy Lumba songs. You move all the parties of Accra, people are playing Daddy Lumba songs. People are weeping from Ghana to Germany. And people are weeping from Bolga to Accra. Some people who never wept for their family members wept when they heard that Daddy Lumba died. And it's not because they knew him physically. Not many people even met him. But the fact that he brought joy to the hearts of many people in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, Lumba brought joy through music. We are doing politics. I believe we shall also bring joy through politics. But for Lumba, he has done his part. He's a great man, and we should not forget of Daddy Lumba. Lumba incarnate will come one day. But I dare to say that he may arguably be the greatest Ghanaian musician to walk on the streets of Accra and to walk on the streets of Ghana. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and may God bless all of us. And may his soul rest in perfect peace.
Yes, Honourable Doyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. And I would like to thank the maker of the statement. Mr. Speaker, we have lost a legend. This is a man who brought joy to everybody in the world because the music is everywhere. When it comes to funeral, he's there. He comes to wedding, he's there. And it comes to the youth, his music is there. And when it comes to politics, the music is there. Mr. Speaker, Daddy Lumba will never die because his music will continue to live on, and because of that, his name will continue to live on. Mr. Speaker, initially, I asked myself, why 60 years? Because I could remember I went to a program with Mama Pat, and we were invited to attend his 60th birthday, but I couldn't go. And 60 years, you are too young, because if life begins at 40, you are 20 years. And when you listen to what killed him, initially people were saying the wife poisoned him, but he came out boldly to tell the whole world that it was spinal cord injury. Mr. Speaker, this tells us that we should take good care of ourselves. At your youthful age, save some of the energies for the future, for your retirement age. Don't waste all the youthful age and you will reserve some for, don't waste all the energy in your youthful age and you will reserve some for the future or your retirement age. Mr. Speaker, spinal cord is bones that God has put together. So take good care of it because this spinal cord has killed a lot of people, especially a lot of men. Mr. Speaker, I would advise everybody, because recently I met a guy in the tunnel. If you look at the load that boy was carrying, I stopped him and asked him, do you know you are injuring yourself? You are young, so you feel you are strong. But by the time you start aging, before you start feeling the effects. So if you are young, take good care of yourself. You yourself, your weight is 60 kilos or 50 kilos, and you want to put 3 cement bags, which is more than your weight together and carry, you will injure yourself. The day you will throw the stone is not that day you feel the pains in your arm, but later before you feel that pains in your arms. So it's a pity that at age 60, that he's supposed to enjoy, sit, even if he cannot play music in concerts and concerts in places again. This is the time he will stay home with the grandchildren, enjoy the fruit of labor. But this is the time rather that he's saying goodbye to Ghanaians. It's sad. We are all sad because we are going to miss him a lot. As my colleague said, every Christmas here is 8 times. We expect new music from him, and we all enjoy his music. Mr. Speaker, do what will not hurt you and break you down in future. As he himself said, and so we are seeing you will force yourself and kill yourself for people, and they don't even know what you have done for them. So don't force yourself and kill yourself for people. Do what will give you more strength and more energy so that you can stay and see your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, may we observe 1 minute silence. Honourable members, may his soul rest in perfect peace. Honourable members, statement time is ended. We now move to commencement of public business. Honourable members, can we turn to order paper addendum, presentation and first reading. Minister responsible for Interior.
Don't come in. Oh, check whether somebody's microphone.
An act to provide for matters relating to the National Security Council, to establish the regional security councils, the district security councils, to specify some of the state agencies responsible for coordinating and implementing government policies on the security of the state and attendant issues on or relating to the internal and external security of Ghana, and to provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the bill is duly read the first time and referred to the Committee on Defense and Interior.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I think it should be referred to the Committee of Security and Intelligence, and if we could add the leadership of the Defense.
Very well, very well. Then it is referred to the Security and Intelligence Committee with the leadership of Defense and Interior joining. Thank you very much for that corrections. Honourable members, item number 9. Motion.
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, the motion has been duly moved by the Finance Minister. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion captured as item number 9 on today's order paper at page 3, that this Honourable House approves the media review of the budget statement and economic policy of the Government of Ghana for the 2025 financial year. Move on Thursday, 24th July 2025 by the Honourable Minister for Finance, Dr. Kisel Ato Ba Forsen. Respectfully move, Mr. Speaker. I second it.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, I have the list before me. I will then proceed to give the floor to Honourable Ajay Mensah. Yes, Honourable Habib.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as important as the media budget review is, the minister responsible for finance moved the motion. It has just been duly seconded by the second deputy majority whip. Mr. Speaker, we are debating the budget of the finance ministry, the media budget review of the finance ministry. The minister is not here. His deputy is not here. Mr. Speaker, if there are issues and serious concerns that will come from the debate, how will they be able to respond and take notice of that? Mr. Speaker, this is unaccepted. Mr. Speaker, and they should take this House serious. And if the majority side are not ready to debate the budget, they should say so. How can we debate the media budget review without the finance minister or the deputy finance minister? Where are they? Mr. Speaker, we cannot. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't know, the minister responsible for roads and highways, he's intimidating me with his looks. Mr. Speaker, we need the finance minister and the deputy minister responsible for finance before we start this debate. You must take this House serious and take your own budget serious. How can we debate the budget without the minister or the deputy minister? Well, how?
Honourable members, we shall come to the debate. But in the meantime, my attention has been drawn to other paper addendum 2. So, Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection.
Mr. Speaker, I think today we had some agreement, and you have been following it all along, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, we have not been engaged on this, and we don't know anything about it. So let's zoom in into the debate. Later on, we can look at the other paper addendum 2. You know we discussed, and we have been following it. So we cannot do the gender minister business at the moment. So, Mr. Speaker, let's continue to the debate. When we get to a certain point, then we'll be able to do it.
Honourable Habib, this was some of the issues that we have discussed, that there will be a withdrawal of the bill and then representation of that particular bill. Because the bill is in this House. The Social Protection Bill has been introduced and referred to a committee. So it's one of the businesses for us to carry. So let us just permit her to do the needful, then we can refer it to a committee and then come to the debate.
Mr. Speaker, I'll plead with my colleagues to allow the laying of the papers so that after that we'll talk about it. Because, Mr. Speaker, this is a straightforward matter. We don't need to belabor the point. So we are just pleading with you to allow us lay those papers. Because the document is before the House, and they are withdrawing it in place, lay the new one. So I don't think there's any difficulty here. But the minister is here. She will provide the necessary answers to the questions that you raised. So let her lay the paper first, and she will proceed by giving us the reasons why she is doing that.
Honourable members, this is not a new business that the minister is bringing.
Mr. Speaker, with respect to your good self, even when the issue of ESLA, you needed to withdraw it. There was an engagement, and we know why. But for the minister in the front bench to spring surprise on us, we don't know anything. Why is the minister withdrawing? We have not been engaged. And Mr. Speaker, with respect, we never discussed this issue, and we are not aware. So let's zoom into the debate. We'll engage, and after that, within the debate, we can do this one.
Honourable member, what I want to do is that we will allow the minister to withdraw and present, so that when we refer it to the committee, then we can engage within the period.
Mr. Speaker, the bill now is the property of Parliament.
Yes.
Why is the minister withdrawing it?
That is why at the point of the withdrawal, yes, at the point of the withdrawal, the minister will indicate why the bill is being withdrawn. It's really the property of Parliament. Yes, Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection. Minister for Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I come under Order 173 to seek your leave and the leave of the House to withdraw the Social Protection Bill that was earlier